Hey, welcome. We're going to go over our guided notes for 1.1 Geometry Basics. This is our very first one, so make sure you have this worksheet. If you don't have this, I think I did post it in our Canvas. So anyways, all right, let's get started. So we need some basic vocabulary here. What is a point? A point is a location, so it really defines a place. It doesn't really have any shape, no shape, and it has no size whatsoever. And we always use a capital letter to name a point. For example, point A. Okay. A line is made up of points, right? So lots of different points, and any two points can form a line. A line has no thickness or width. Okay, but it does have length. So we name a line by using our 2 points. So we can use any 2 points on a line, or a lowercase script letter can also be an example of how we could do that. So a lowercase script letter. For example, right here on this line, we could label it XY. So XY, and over it we would put arrows like this, indicating this line goes on forever in both directions. We could also call this line, and this is that script right here. That's kind of like cursive, line in. And then we could also, instead of doing the notation above it, we could also just call it line XY as well. So those are the 3 different ways that we could do that. Collinear points are points that lie on the same plane. So co means together, and linear are line. So lines on the same plane, versus non-collinear means they do not lie on the same plane. So 2 lines that will intersect, and they do so at a point. Okay, so again, lots of vocabulary. So how do we name points? How do we name lines? What's collinear? On the same line. X and Y are collinear. Okay, this A is not on this line, so A is not collinear with X and Y. All right, now we can talk about a plane, not an airplane, but a plane is what we call a flat surface. Okay, so a flat surface made up of many points, and we can name any 3 points, or any 3 points can make up a plane. A plane extends indefinitely in all directions, so it kind of goes whew, 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 in all different directions. And we can name a plane by choosing any 3 non-collinear points on the plane. So we could do any 3 non-collinear points. In this case, we could call this plane JKL, because those 3 do not exist on the same plane. Or we can name it by the uppercase script, which is plane P. And notice P is not actually a point, it's just the script. So those are the 2 different ways that we can name it. Again, using 3 non-collinear points like this. Those are not on a straight line. Or we can use the script letter that we see right there. Okay, but we do have to use the word plane in front of it so we know what we're talking about. Sorry if that was crooked. Okay, again, collinear points. These should be coplanar points, so similar to collinear, but this time we're talking about planes. So co means together on the same plane, and non-coplanar means they're not. And we have to pick at least 4 points. All right, intersecting lines and planes. 2 lines intersect at a point, and 2 planes intersect at a line. So if they were to intersect, they go right through a line. All right, next page. All this great vocab that we're just kind of brushing through. Some of you might know a bit of it. All right, what is a segment? A segment is a part of a line that consists of 2, we call them endpoints. They're points, but they're more specifically called endpoints because that's where the ends. We name a segment by its two endpoints. For example, this one we'd call AB, and we just put a line right over it. We don't have arrows, notice. And then we also could do, if we wanted, segment AB if you want to write it out. But we typically would go with this notation. And no arrows means it stops. Array is a part of a line that consists of one endpoint and one continuous side. I think there's an extra U in there, my bad. So we have an endpoint right here. That means it's end. But then on the other side, it goes continuously, meaning it's going to go forever in that direction. Okay? We name array by its endpoint and any point on the line, and the order the points indicate the array's direction. So here we would say AB. Now since it's going towards B infinitely, my little picture would look like this, and then vice versa. If you were to do it like this, that would be incorrect. Not right. Okay. All right, moving on. Name two rays that share the same endpoints and form a straight line. This is what we call opposite rays. So two rays that share the same endpoints and form a line. Opposite rays. So opposite rays kind of form a straight line. So we have SR, and that would be going towards, the R, and ST, and that'd be going towards the T. Okay? And those are opposite rays. Okay? From here we get into some examples that we are going to look at in class. And let's just quickly finish up with some angles, and then we'll look at some examples in class together. All right, an angle is formed by two rays with a common endpoint. So we can see AB ray and BC ray. The common endpoint is called the vertex. So that right there is the vertex. The rays are called the sides. So the sides of them are what we call them. And we name an angle using three letters. The middle letter must always represent the vertex. So that's really key. The middle letter must represent the vertex. Using a single letter if there's only one angle that we can have. Okay, so it's not very often. So here, different types of angles. This one is acute, less than 90. This is obtuse. You might remember these. That's so less than 90. This is greater than 90. Right, which is exactly 90. And then this one we call straight. That equals 180 degrees right there. And last but not least, congruent angles. If the measure of angle A is equal to the measure of angle B, then the angles are congruent. So then we'd say angle A is congruent to angle B. Incongruency is just a special word we use to show shapes are the same. So equal means they have the same value, but congruency means the shapes are the same. All right, we'll get some examples in. Thank you very much. Good luck.